Good news coming in from Paris Olympics for India. Indian wrestler Vinesh Phogat has won the semi-final in wrestling in Paris Olympics, guaranteeing India the 4th medal at the Games. Well, Phogat now has entered the gold medal match, defeating Cuba's Guzman, and has now entered the finals. The silver medal, of course, has been assured for India. Also, she becomes the first Indian woman to reach the wrestling final in the Olympics. My colleague Rika now joins us on the broadcast here, getting us more on that thrilling match that took place just a while back with Vinesh Phogat entering the finals. Now it's more good news now coming in from the Paris Olympics here, Rika.
Well, the 4th medal for India has been guaranteed at the Paris Olympic Games. It could be a silver or a gold. Vinesh Phogat will get India the 4th medal. It is also a historic moment for India because it's the first time that a woman has entered the wrestling finals. So Vinesh Phogat will take on her opponent for the gold medal match tomorrow, and she could end up on the Paris podium with a gold after significant challenges that she had faced over the last 19 months. The 29-year-old was the voice of wrestlers' protest, was the face of wrestlers' protest, sitting in Jantar Mantar, and she's been talking about the challenges that have been faced by the women wrestlers because of the establishment, because of the federation, because of the body that runs the federation. Also, she's spoken along with other wrestlers about sexual harassment. She is the one person, along with Sakshi Malik, who raised their voice against injustice in the system, and thereby, giving voice to the young wrestlers. This is a moment of truth for her. This is a huge moment for the young women wrestlers who all feel vindicated at this moment. The entire wrestling fraternity that had protested against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh and the systemic injustice perhaps has given their answer with this medal. We were expecting big deeds of Vinesh Phogat, who have been training in Bulgaria for a while, and she had missed out on medals in Rio, in Tokyo. We all knew that she's a class act. She's an Asian Games gold medalist. She's twice bronze medalist at the World Championships, but it was about time that she medaled at the Olympic Games. The last 2 times she had been injured and hence could not medal at the Games, but this time, Vinesh, by taking down the world champion and the class.
All right, absolutely. Thank you so much, Rika, for getting us all those details there. Well, this is some very interesting news coming in from the Paris Olympics. Of course, we do understand now Vinesh Phogat, who comes from Haryana, has won India a number of medals. She's participated in the Commonwealth Games, in the Asian Games, World Wrestling Championships as well, and won a number of medals for India. And this is a historic first, of course. She's the first woman wrestler who is entering in the Paris Olympics, who's entering the Olympics finals, with her win at the semi-finals. Well, all eyes will be on the medal that she gets to win next. A silver is assured of. Whether she gets to win a gold as well, that is what something that we are hoping for. All right, we are shifting our focus now to some more news that we are tracking here. A day after the stunning turn of events in Bangladesh, where the ongoing student protest led to the ouster of Hasina Sheikh, who was forced to flee to India. Today, the president dissolved parliament, paving the way for an interim government to take power, which has been a key demand of student protest leaders. Also, now Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus says he is happy to take up a role as chief advisor to an interim government, which was also demanded by the students. Well, the students have said they will not accept a military-led government. Well, as per more information, the curfew was lifted today, and the number of dead has risen to 440. Meanwhile, key political opponents, including former Prime Minister and opposition leader Begum Khalida Zia, was released from the prison as well today. All right, we had also spoken to Sheikh Hasina's son, Sajid Wazid, just a while back. Listen into that conversation.
Your mother and former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has been in India for over 24 hours. Reports are suggesting that United Kingdom is yet to take a call on her asylum. What's next for her and the family?
The reports about her requesting asylum are actually incorrect. She has not requested asylum anywhere. So the question of the UK or US not responding yet is not true. The family intends to spend time together now. My mother was planning to retire after this term anyway. This was going to be her last term. She's 77 years old. And so she is done with politics in Bangladesh.
So you are saying that your mother has not sought any asylum from any country. Then if it's about staying in India for the moment, where is she going to be? Will she be in India? Because again, as I said, there are reports suggesting that United States won't be commenting on Sheikh Hasina's US visa revocation.
There's been no such discussion at all with the US or anyone else.
Okay, and you say that she will be spending the time with the family. So is she retiring from politics?
Yes.
And then she leaves Bangladesh and moves in with her children, all of you in Washington?
No, I'm in Washington. My aunt lives in London. My sister actually lives in Delhi. So we don't know. She might travel between the places.
So what is going to be the future of Awami League?
That I don't know. I'm mostly concerned about the lives of our party members because they are being attacked. Several of our members of parliament have been killed. Almost all our ministers and many MPs' homes have been burnt, including cricketer Mashrafi. And so we are very concerned for their safety. And I would ask the Indian government's help in ensuring their safety to save their lives, because this is not a political movement. I mean, if it was a political movement, if these forces were democratic, then why are they killing people?
Why do you say that this was not a political movement? I'm going to take that question a little bit later, but there are reports also suggesting that former ministers of Sheikh Hasina's cabinet are being stopped from leaving the country. So certainly there is that sense of uncertainty in Awami League and its future.
Yes, this is, partly BNP Jamaat were behind the protests anyway. And so they want to eliminate the Awami League. There are only two political parties in Bangladesh, and BNP Jamaat has even when they were in power last time, they attempted to physically eliminate the Awami League, physically eliminate my mother. There was a massive assassination attempt organized directly from in fact, the former Prime Minister's son, Tariq Zia, has been convicted on that charge of terrorism and bombing, where 23 people were killed and over 200 injured. So it's no secret that the BNP want to eliminate the Awami League physically, and that is what they're trying to do now.
All right. We also have this report from Dhaka brought to us by Salman Saeed. Take a look.
On the ground, as in the daytime, it was pretty calm, but as night fall started, like when the sun set, the tension started erupting. There was huge traffic in the city, where students were trying to control the traffic system, and they were trying to clean the places where there was burned police stations and stuff. But the problem was when I was moving around the city. At one point, I saw another new police station was just close to the Prime Minister's home was set on fire. So, and then I saw some group of crowd celebrating the victory. So things were getting a bit tense as the night it gets darker, right? But the Ansar and VDB has also been deployed to take over the airport security, and also all the police stations will be secured by the Ansar and VDB force, along with the traffic situation. The students, last I know, the local media reports, is they're at the presidential palace. They're talking with the president about the new interim government. Local media reports there's been tension. The ruling party supporters, ministers, houses have been burned, and they're like really going undercover right now. And government officials are also pretty much tense at the secretariat. The local media also reports there's been some vandalization in the minority communities in Dhaka. There is a singer, a very famous singer who even met the French president. His house was vandalized in a very upscale place in the society. So as the sun sets, the streets of Dhaka gets a bit tense. But so we just have to wait now and see the situation, what this government decides on the interim government. Thank you.
All right, let's also look at how this big development here in Bangladesh could have an impact on India. Sheikh Hasina's tenure has fostered a healthy relationship between New Delhi and Dhaka, but her exit could jeopardize this, affecting growing trade ties, restricting the movement of people and goods, and stalling a potential free trade agreement between the two countries. Well, my colleagues Ratnadeep Chaudhary and Saurabh Gupta get us more on that.
Movement of trucks carrying goods between India and Bangladesh at the Changrabanda border checkpost in West Bengal's Kuch Bihar district has almost come to a standstill after the fall of the Sheikh Hasina government. The turmoil in the country has affected trade between India and Bangladesh.
এক্সপোর্ট বন্ধ আছে, আজকে সারাদিন কোনো গাড়ি এক্সপোর্ট হয়নি। আগের যেগুলো গাড়ি আছে সেগুলো বাংলাদেশে আটকে আছে, এক্সপোর্ট যেগুলো আগে হয়েছে গতকালকে যেগুলো হয়েছে। আর মানুষ যাওয়া আসা 3টের পর থেকে পুরোপুরি বন্ধ হয়ে গেছে।
অবস্থা আজ থেকে আমাদের ইন্ডিয়ান ইম্পোর্টটা চালু হলো, এক্সপোর্টটা এখনো চালু হয়নি, যেহেতু 207 গাড়ি আমাদের বাংলাদেশ পোর্টে এখনো দাঁড়িয়ে আছে।
Bangladesh is India's biggest trade partner in the subcontinent, and India is Bangladesh's second biggest partner in Asia after China. At the international border checkpost in Petropol in Bongaon district of West Bengal, even local businesses have been hit.
With the widespread unrest and violence in Bangladesh, trade along routes like these has suffered. But it's not just the cross-border trade. Ancillary businesses like shopkeepers on the border areas, money changers and other allied businesses are now reporting almost an 80% drop in business or perhaps even more daily.
আমরা বসে আছি দাদা, বিগত বেশ কয়েকদিন ধরে বাংলাদেশে তো প্রচুর গন্ডগোল অশান্তি চলছে। এবার সেই গন্ডগোল অশান্তির জেরে লোকজন তো কেউ আসতে পারছে না একদম, এই জন্য আমাদের পুরোপুরি বসেই রয়েছে। না এই দিক দিয়ে লোকজন যাতায়াত করছে, না ওই দিক দিয়ে লোকজন যাতায়াত করছে, একদম লোক নেই। মানে আমরা তো অটোতে এই সময় ধরেন আমরা ওপার বাংলা থেকে প্রচুর লোকজন আসে, এই পার বাংলা থেকেও মোটামুটি লোকজন যায়, একদম পুরো সেই বর্ডার শ্মশান বললেই চলে, লোকই নেই একদম। আমরা সকাল থেকে সেই বসে আছি, একটা টিপ এখনো মারতে পারিনি।
In October 2023, India and Bangladesh began discussion on a free trade agreement. The free trade agreement is aimed at reducing the custom duties on goods that are traded between the two countries, and it is expected that if India and Bangladesh are able to sign this deal, then it is also going to promote more trade and investment between the two countries. Indian leaders in the border states say the disruption is short term.
Here you have seen that we are supplying the electricity right now.
Right.
So I think temporarily there may be, but in the long run I doubt there would be any problem.
At the Akhora Agartala border checkpost, a major India-Bangladesh border trade point in Tripura, business has slumped.
তো প্রায় 15 গাড়ি, আর অন্য গাড়ি তো প্রায় 20-25 গাড়ি, 30 গাড়ি। এখন তো বর্তমানে আজকে তো কাজ নাই, 2-3 দিন ধরে একদম। আজকে শুধু একটা মাছের গাড়ি ঢুকছে আর 2টা সিমেন্টের গাড়ি।
On a rough estimate, on a thumb rule basis, roughly हम $30 million का रोज ट्रेड करते हैं, एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं बांग्लादेश को, और विद द डिसरप्शन अराउंड $300 million का हमारा ट्रेड इफेक्ट हुआ है।
Bangladesh is the fourth largest export destination for India, and therefore all eyes will be on the impact on the border trades. With Saurav Gupta in Petropol border in West Bengal, Himanshu Shekhar Mishra in New Delhi, Ratandeep Chaudhary for NDTV.
Well, we'll continue to keep an eye on the situation there and get you more. Meanwhile, we're shifting our focus now to some more news that we're tracking. The Delhi High Court wrapped the MCD over an unbarricaded and unclean drain in the national capital, where a mother and her 3-year-old son recently fell and died due to waterlogging amid heavy rains. The Delhi High Court said that the civic administration had become a cozy club with its senior officials lacking the courage to take action against non-performing employees. Big observations made by the Delhi court today, calling it a shocking state of affairs. The court said the senior officials of the civic body were not performing their supervisory functions, and it said that the administration had become a cozy club. All right, with that, it's time for a short break here. More news and updates continue on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back after the break. Following concerns and criticism from certain quarters over the budget proposal on removal of indexation benefit on long-term capital gains, that is LTCG, on sale of unlisted assets, the government now has decided to offer a choice to taxpayers in case of sale of property acquired before July 23, 2024. With the amendments, effectively, all properties purchased before the budget presentation date, that is July 23rd, have been grandfathered. In the original proposal, there was no grandfathering for properties bought after April 1st, 2001. Well, that is what we are learning. After a lot of criticism had poured in over the government's move, the government has now rolled back its move, saying that indexation benefits will now be available on LTCG tax on the sale of property. My colleague Sunil Prabhu also now joins us on the broadcast here, getting us more on that. Sunil, help us understand, what does this mean now?
Well, this is a big, huge relief for the real estate and for those people who have properties, middle class owners. After 23rd of July 2024, this benefit will not be there. But those who have properties before that, they can avail of either of the two facilities. One is the new system of just getting 12.5, or if it benefits them, they can go through the whole scheme of indexation and paying 20%. And they can pay whichever is lower. So that's the benefit that has been given. This is a amendment clause that has been moved. It has to be passed in Parliament. Hopefully tomorrow it is likely to be taken up for debate and discussion and finally passage of the bill. But this is, of course, a big relief and something that had been a big cause of concern. And now finally the government, as you rightly pointed out, has rolled back on this important policy.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Sunil, for getting us all those details there. Well, the centre now has made revisions in the LTCG indexation proposal on real estate. As my colleague Sunil Prabhu also has been pointing out, this definitely comes as a big relief to the taxpayers. There have been a lot of concerns over this move by the government, but the government now has moved this amendment to provide relief for real estate under the LTCG regime, bringing more relief to the taxpayers. All right. Some more news now. The CBI has registered an FIR against a top civil servant and Birla Group company Hindalco. Case pertains to grant of environment clearance, which the CBI claims was obtained by concealing facts, and certain officials of Ministry of Environment and Forest acted in cahoots with the company. The agency has accused the government official of hatching a criminal conspiracy with Birla Group company that allegedly showed favour to a project and let it go ahead despite being aware of irregularities. The CBI had registered a prelim inquiry based on a complaint and has now converted that inquiry into full-fledged criminal case. Hindalco's response is awaited. All right, shifting our focus now to some more news coming in. This is from the US. The suspense is over now. Vice President Kamala Harris has selected Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. Both are expected to make the first public appearance at a rally in Philadelphia. My colleague Disha joins us on the broadcast, getting us more on that. That is what we are learning now, Disha. Vice President Kamala Harris choosing Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate, and the first public appearance is also expected at a rally in Philadelphia. What more are we learning of it? on this?
So yes, as you mentioned, they will have their first joint appearance at Philadelphia tomorrow in India, but later tonight in the US. But in terms of looking at who Tim Walz is, actually, he's not a face that many in the US public actually recognize or know of until a couple of weeks ago, when one of his interviews where he called Republicans weird went viral, and he became he got thrusted into the spotlight. And his comment actually has been, criticized and has triggered a lot of Republican candidates. But in terms of his political career, he has been seen and praised as a working class politician. And immediately after Kamala Harris, announced her pick as Tim Walz, the Obamas, Joe Biden immediately endorsed and congratulated Tim Walz, calling him a politician for the people who believes that the government must serve the people. And, in terms of his political career, he's the two-term governor of Minnesota, which is a crucial state for the Democrats. And he will help the Kamala Harris campaign secure the rural vote, which is crucial for the Democrats, given that in the last couple of elections, Donald Trump has, been dominant in these regions. So her pick now is crucial for the Democrat campaign as to as it moves ahead in securing these crucial votes. And in terms of his legislation and what kind of laws he's been passing, he's passed quite a few progressive laws in Minnesota, whether it comes to enshrining abortion in the state legislation, as well as protecting certain healthcare, gender-affirming healthcare. So quite an interesting pick. Some are even calling this a surprising pick by Harris. But all eyes are now
by
on this.
Kamala Harris there. Yes, all right. Thank you so much, Disha, for getting us all those details there. We'll keep reflecting that information and try and get more on that. Meanwhile, that is the latest coming in at this point in time. A tweet also by Kamala Harris earlier said, "I'm proud to announce that I've asked Tim Walz to be my running mate as a governor, a coach, a teacher, and a veteran. He has delivered for working families. It's great to have him on the team. Now let's get to work." All right. Well, with that, it's time to wrap this edition. More news and updates on the other side.